Bali is one of over 17,000 islands in Indonesia. Is home of the amazing rich culture, endless rice paddies, jungles, rivers, volcanoes. What else? There are countless things to do, see, and experience here. While you are planning and preparing for your trip here, you probably see tons of information on what to do and see in Bali. But today, how about we tell you what not to do in Bali? Trust me, knowing what not to do will really help make your trip in Bali even more amazing and unforgettable. Do not go crazy with drinking super cheap cocktails. Most of them contain arak, or Balinese wine, or Balinese liquor. We know this from our Balinese friend who is a chef, revealing us the secret on why alcohol in Bali is especially cheap from the periods of happy hour, and in some places even sold for 5 cocktails for $7. And they got a really good deal on cocktails. They got 5 cocktails for 100K. Speaking of arak, it is traditionally brewed liquor and it is made from rice, coconut palm flowers, and it can contain up to 50% alcohol. Fun fact that Australian Medical Association has actually put out a travel warning and advisory for Australians traveling to Bali, mainly so that they stick to bottled beers like Bintang and avoid spritzers. By no means are we telling you to avoid taking advantage of this amazing happy hour, but just don't go too crazy on it, especially if you're a first timer and your stomach might not be used to the local Balinese style whiskey or wine.
Next one, really important issues. Drug taking is definitely on the top list of what not to do in Bali at all. So I don't know if you have heard about Bali 9 story. It is a story about 9 young Australians who traveling to Bali. What's going on is that these young Australians were arrested in Bali on charges of drug trafficking, known as the Bali 9. Some members received the death penalties for their crimes. Others are serving the lengthy jail sentences.
I originally heard about this story and I didn't know specifically what it was, but there are plenty of documentaries and books on this group of 9 Australian individuals.
But this book, I will put the one below. It is about Bali 9 and the untold story that you can't see in the documentary. It's like the hidden truth behind the Bali 9. But basically it's about drug and the death penalty that Indonesia and Bali has put toward people who do drug and do drug trafficking. Either you bring it from your country to Bali or you buy it in Bali and bring to your country. Either way.
Pretty similar in a couple of the Southeast Asian countries.
One thing I can guarantee you when you arrive Bali is that this thing will blow your mind away. It's like the icon of Bali already. If you visit Bali, you stay in Bali, you have to see this thing. So basically, this one is kind of like the offering that you can see a lot on the street, in front of the restaurant, like exactly right at the door.
Or they have it like a little shrine. They have it in front of those as well.
So basically, as you walk down the Balinese street, you will notice these fragrant pesos. It's made from the palm leaves and it is everywhere. So do not walk on the ceremonial offering in the street, even though you might see the dog or the cats walk on them, but
just make sure you realize where you're walking and step over it or walk around it.
This is pretty important ritual to Balinese.
Bali's culture is very rich and you really notice it while being a first timer in Southeast Asia or in Indonesia. They are very strict with their culture and with their beliefs and with their prayers.
So basically the reason why I think you shouldn't do this is because there's nothing more disrespectful than stepping on something meant for gods. The Balinese, as we noticed, they are highly spiritual and these offerings are part of religious belief. Common sense tell me is that when you're stepping right on this thing, it's kind of like bad luck. Just for me.
Yeah? Like where you believe if you do something bad, you're gonna get something bad.
You mean karma? But for some spiritual thing like this, I, as a Thai person and Buddhist, we have kind of like the same belief that something that you give to monk or something spiritual offering, this kind of thing, you are not supposed to step on it. Otherwise, you will really have a bad luck. But I don't know about Hinduism in general, so this thing really quite interesting to me because we kind of like share the same beliefs. So if you Balinese are watching this, I really want to know like, what does this actually mean.
Alright, so when you go to a temple in Bali, specifically places like Gawagaja and Ubud, you might encounter some locals that offer free service or tours, guiding you and explaining the history and culture and such. But at the end, they will ask you, you know, for money or a form of donation. Now, if you're okay with this and you clarify it beforehand when he asks you if you want a service, then that's fine. We just want to forewarn you that this happens so that when you get to the end of the tour, you know, if you're a very strict budget backpacker, you can just, you know, look up the history and such yourself on your phone so that you don't get to the end of the tour and kind of get to that awkward moment.
So if you don't have cash at the time and they expect for some donation, and then if we kind of like
just kindly decline it at the beginning if you know you don't have any cash.
Next thing is my real experience that I would love to share with you. One thing that can blow your mind away, especially if you are a first timer, I think Indonesian rupiah has the highest amount of zero on their bills.
Yeah, it's like insane. Like the first time I went to the when I went to the airport and I would draw money, they $100, and I was like, oh, I'm a millionaire. It's like I've never thought I would ever be a millionaire in my life, but apparently now I am.
What to say? Confusing?
Confusion.
Yeah, it's mainly about confusing. And this one is about, for example, when you go to the restaurant, you might probably see the menu that write down 30, 50, 100.
But realize that that 30 is 30,000.
And 50 is 50,000.
100 is 100,000.
Because there are too many zero on their bills. To avoid the confusion and to make it easier and more comfortable, they normally cut out all three. So my trick would normally go for like, I will remember the color instead of like looking for the zero.
Be careful.
The reason why I really want to tell you and share you this experience is that because when I go to the local market and
she accidentally handed 100,000 rupiah bill,
yeah,
when it was supposed to be 10,000 rupiah for the fruit.
Yeah, so this is what happened.
Yeah, it's wrong. This 100%. I don't like this layer with the someone. Okay.
So it's pretty bad if you are traveling on budget and then you have to deal with a lot of zero on the bills, and so you have to really be careful of this one.
Do not ride a motorbike.
Southern Bali in general, the road is pretty narrow, so basically you will see
traffic is crazy.
You will see people, sometimes they don't ride on the road anymore, but they will go on the pathway and then they will cut like zigzag.
Literally ride on the sidewalks. It's insane. When I first got there, I was like, how is this even allowed? And the cop is standing in the intersection and people are just riding on the sidewalks.
I'm a bit of person that I would not ride a motorbike in Bali at all if I don't have to.
Bali is a very crowded island and the traffic jams are unbearable. Even though the best and most affordable way to get around is the back of a scooter.
A bit traffic condition like this.
If you are not good at riding, make sure you get the app Gojek or Grab, because both of these have the options for ordering scooters and not just cabs. The driver will arrive, give you a helmet, and he will get you there the fastest. And really, riding on the back of a scooter, even from the airport, if you walk down this little path, you can catch a Gojek from the airport.
Honk.
Yeah, if it's your first time in Asia, I mean Vietnam and Bali, but specifically Bali, don't get mad if they honk at you while you're riding the scooter, because this is very, very, very common. There's no road rage really in Bali. It's not like the US. Honking in Bali is a polite way to let somebody know that you are overtaking or going around blind corners or intersections. So if you're going around a corner and you randomly hear a honk, Basically, they're just warning you that they're coming around the corner and they can't see anybody coming. Everybody uses this as a gentle gesture to communicate something.
One thing about Bali though is that in Bali there's some road there is no traffic sign or there is no traffic lights. So the way that people avoid the accident is that they let the motorbike communicate with motorbike.
Yeah. Like some corners are literally like a wall and a corner around the wall, and there's no way you would see around it, and it's such a sharp corner that cars even have to honk just to tell them that they have to take out both lanes to get around the corner because there's not enough room for cars. Alright, so do not think that it is all the same in Bali, because that is not true. The biggest misconception about Bali is that it is a small island. Yes, it is, but every area is very, very different. It's better to get to know the areas first before booking rooms. Here are some tips. If you love peaceful atmosphere, greenery setting, and you'd rather be there than the beach, and if you love culture and art, you're gonna love Ubud. Ubud can literally give you the feel of the traditional Balinese lifestyle, where Kuta is well known for being your party area, full of beaches and lots of nightlife. It is less calm, especially comparing to Ubud, but if you love clubbing, partying, and hanging out with everybody and being surrounded by a lot of people, Kuta is for you. If you want to stay in the northern Bali area, if you hate to party but you love the jungle vibes and stunning waterfalls, this is the least tourist area in Bali. Things are also really cheap here. Relatively, food can cost around 15,000 rupiah instead of 30 or 50,000 rupiah in down south. If you're more of a hippie style, cute cafe, restaurants, and you like the surfer vibe, then Canggu is for you. Canggu is more of like a low-key beachfront bar.
Next, look at them. They are lovely, right?
They are lovely, but
I really want to cuddle them so bad.
They are evil.
But seriously, sometimes cuteness and safety doesn't really go along with each other.
Or fun and safety. Those don't really go well together either.
I will admit many of the monkeys in this temple are very, very tame. They have been around humans their whole lives and are comfortable interacting with people on a daily basis because there are so many visitors to these monkey forests. They may look cute and cuddly, but they can become territorial and they can be very, very aggressive as well.
Very fast. And there's no stopping it once it happens.
The point is that it's really hard to distinguish when they feel aggressive and when they feel calm. You will never know from their face.
And if they start to get aggressive and you actually get scratched or bit by a monkey, you actually have to go through a 4-shot series for rabies because they highly suggest getting rabies shots after getting scratched or bit by a monkey. And the needle for rabies is not small.
Oh man.
A lot of people actually leave Bali and they end up getting the rabies shots in Bangkok because it's a lot cheaper in Bangkok to get the rabies shots than it is in Bali.
I don't know that before.
Yeah.
I just know this from you. So what we will recommend you is that don't buy any bananas or
or even look at bananas.
Monkeys in Bali, they also eat the nuts.
Bananas, nuts, candy, anything.
Banana and nuts. So purchase your ticket and then process into the temple right away. Some of the horror stories that come from visiting this place revolve around food. And
food or shiny things like phones or sunglasses or anything like that. Take all your personal items, put them in a bag.
It is not smart at all to take food in. Even if you are dying for a closer look at a monkey, be sure to check all the bags and pockets for food, for candies, and so on before entering. You might have forget it was there, but the monkey will know straight away. I don't know how they know that, but they
have
will
a very good sense of smell and they will know right away.
I have noticed that there is one guy walking in Sangke Monkey Forest and I think he has some food or something in his pocket
The monkey climbed up his side and reached in his pocket and grabbed everything out of his pocket, including his phone.
They will chase after you. They can be quite persistent about retrieving anything they want off of you. Also, another tip is that, I don't know if you have heard about this, but don't smile at monkey.
Because if they see them big ass teeth, they're gonna come after you. No, if you smile or show your teeth, it's kind of like a sign of aggression. So they just suggest not to smile or show your teeth to the monkey, because you know when a monkey gets mad, it like growls like a dog.
Look at their teeth.
Yeah, but the teeth are nasty looking. So you definitely don't want to be trying to have a teeth show off with this monkey, because he will win.
I think if you want to really feed the monkey, you feel like I'm dying to feed the monkey,
get a guide.
I will recommend you to get a guide. And actually
they carry around these like sticks, so like they don't hit the monkey with them, but like the monkeys know that if you like hit the ground with the stick, that it'll like get scared from the sound, so it will run away. So the guides have like their way of getting the monkeys off of you. I mean, they are there every day. They're working with these monkeys every day to protect you. So if you do want to do something like that, just be more comfortable and proactive by getting a guide over there.
So basically, if you go to the Sangke Monkey Forest, this one is not in Ubud, but if you go there will be plenty of guides there.
Alright, so if you guys found this video helpful or interesting by any means at all, please like it and make sure you subscribe and stick around for more, because we are heading to Mexico, then into Central America, and back to Asia in January. So we are excited to continue our trip, and we hope you will join along with us. So if you're headed to Bali or Malaysia or Thailand, we have actual checklists and need to know essentials. So at the top, it will break down all the need to knows with culture, what to do, what not to do, how to save, how to get from the airport to your location, everything you need to know, and your must pack items. It is all completely free. Just look in the description below. You can download your checklist over at divertliving.com/shop. Really, dude? You gonna go that childish on us right now? Look at it.
I'm not.
Okay. Why don't you calm down?